Greetings, my name is Sata. I am a poet, I am a reggae vocalist, performance artist, as well as a witness and a survivor of domestic violence. I grew up in a household where I saw my father abuse my mother physically, emotionally, mentally, verbally, financially, basically the whole gamut. And it was pretty traumatic, seeing all of that, throughout my childhood. But it all came to a halt when I decided to advocate for my mother one day and call the police on my father. And she cooperated and, said was enough and pressed charges on him. And that was the beginning of the end of their marriage. All throughout my childhood I thought, it's never going to happen to me. I'm never going to let a man treat me like that, But fast forward into my young adult life, I was in a violent relationship with the person that I was dating. Didn't start off violent. Everything was, peaches and cream and great. He was the most greatest person in the world, And, it started to become controlling and abusive as I wanted to go out and venture, and have my own life, my life for Sata. That's when a lot of the problems started to occur. It did get physical at times, so much to the point where I did have to call or make a police report on him because it did get physically abusive to where I had, a couple scrapes and bruises and bite marks and various things like that. And I finally made a decision to say enough was enough for me, that I wanted to live my life, live a healthier life. But it was a long journey, it was a long process. But it was very hard for me to call the police, to be very honest with you. And surprisingly so, me being that child that witnessed abuse and advocating for my mother and, calling law enforcement on my father, when I was now faced with the position, it was difficult for me. Because I knew about, how prevalent police brutality was and, how sometimes men of color are targeted and different things like that. So I'm like, man, I don't want to be selling my boyfriend out to, to the cops in a way, He already has it bad enough as a man of color, But then again, I had to think of myself first, because who's going to stick up for me? Who's going to advocate for me? My definition of a survivor is someone who has overcome very trying obstacles and challenges in their life, but has made the decision to live life regardless of the circumstance. And, just rise above all of those things and, take their destiny into their own hands and, create the life that they want for themselves. That's a survivor.